Welcome to Women of a Certain Stage, the podcast redefining how we think about menopause. I'm your host, Lauren Turin, a passionate advocate for breaking the stigma and empowering individuals to navigate this transformational stage of life with confidence and clarity. Here, we're diving into a new era of menopause support, featuring expert advice, real-life stories, and actionable insights. Whether you're curious about building your personal menopause plan or you're looking to make an impact, you're in the right place. Let's embrace the change together. Tracey, I'm super excited to have this conversation with you today, and thank you so much for making time to join us. Just to let people know a little bit about who you are and your background, would you like to just share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So originally I'm a legal PA. Worked for a law firm, corporate in London, in the city. So I've always worked in law as a PA, and then hit age 45, and then things start going wrong. It's like I couldn't think anymore. I felt I couldn't do my job anymore. It was actually around COVID time as well, so I didn't know if it was COVID, being at home all the time. I just felt so anxious, so depressed, bursting into tears every day. I didn't know what was wrong, couldn't think. Small things like, I think at the time someone asked me to arrange a meeting, and I'd done that all my life between about 3 different people, different countries. And I just sat there and I was like, I just burst into tears, so I don't think I can do it. So someone said to me, just ring your line manager and tell them. And she's like, just ring the doctor. So I rang the doctor and he signed me off. He just thought I was having a breakdown. You know, bit all too much for me. Couldn't cope. Yeah. So then in the end, I just left the job. I didn't want, I think I was getting paid, I think 75% of my salary or whatever for about 6 months. I was just getting signed off, but I felt so anxious all the time. I hated having that contact with work. I just felt on edge all the time. So I was like, I just don't want anyone contacting me. So I decided to just leave. And then it took about 2 years for me to realise, and bearing in mind I had a friend that was a GP that I was walking her to work every day because I had to just be out. And I was walking near enough holding her hand because I just felt so anxious. It's like, please help me. And she didn't know. I just ended up going to my personal trainer. I spoke to him and he said, I just burst into tears with him. And he said, Tracey, you need to go and get HRT. And I was like, oh my God, why do I need HRT? Because they'd also told me that I wasn't in the perimenopause because they'd done blood tests. So, and this is Harley Street, because I went to Harley Street because I had Bupa and we had Harley Street doctors. And they didn't know. And so he told me to go and get HRT. He said to me, go and ring your GP and don't take no for an answer. So I did have to battle it because the first thing they said, are you still having regular periods? I was like, yes, I am. And bearing in mind, I knew nothing. I was thinking, oh, well, it can't be that. And then she was like, well, I said, but please, could I try it? I had to fight for it. And she said, okay, I'll give it to you for 3 months and see how you get on. So I took it, I put my patch on 8 o'clock that evening and I felt better within 15 hours. So I was like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel myself again. So yeah, it was life-changing.
This is like listening to my story.
Yeah.
It's like word for word. It's like listening to exactly what I went through.
Horrible,
and my doctor also thinking, if you don't take care of yourself now, then, who's going to look after your son when you have a breakdown?
Yeah.
And that was a real, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I kept thinking.
And
so then I became hooked on podcasts and wellbeing stuff. Thinking they were going to save me. It's like trying to find ways out all the time. I had CBT. They put me on anti-anxiety, which made me even worse.
As well as the HRT?
No, this is before HRT. This is before I knew what was going on. Yeah. Like, oh, you just, you need anti-anxiety. So I tried that. That was horrible. I sat in a park in the rain all day because I couldn't go home. I felt so anxious. And luckily I had an appointment with the psychiatrist and she saw the state I was in. She said, stop them immediately. Don't carry on with that. I can't have you like that. it was awful. I was so suicidal. I was like, I just can't live anymore if this is how life is going to be. So thank God I had children, because I don't know if I'd be here now if I didn't, because I was trying to be there for them. But yeah, and that is the reason why I wanted to be a coach, because I just didn't want anyone else to go through that. Because I actually watched Davina's documentary after that, once I realised what was wrong. And all those women crying, I burst into tears. I was watching that thinking, oh my God, that was me. And seeing other women going through the same, and none of us knowing what was going on. Yeah, awful.
Oh, it's like going right back to 12, 14 years ago. I completely understand every single part of what you just said. And that moment of, for me, it was knelt down on the kitchen floor, beating the living daylights out, but going, my son's in school, he's been taken care of. I just can't see how to move forward. And my cat came up and headbutted me, and that was what got me around. But like you, it was eventually when my doctor gave me HRT. Now, to be fair, my doctor was very good. The first appointment was the whole kind of low mood, breakdown, and then he did bloods, and then he said you're menopausal, but I was premature menopause, so the blood work came round and told me that I was already in menopause. And I took HRT, and literally within 24 hours, I would say I felt like myself again. Unfortunately, I didn't get on with it, but that's another story. So you decided that you've gone through that. You're obviously someone who's health aware. You've got a personal trainer. You're looking after yourself. You've got a very successful career. You're looking after other people and making sure their lives are running well, their work lives are running well. That's a hell of a lot of responsibility. And then you find yourself sitting on a park bench in the rain, unable to go home because of your anxiety in a very dark place. So at what point did you, was it after the Davina McCall documentary? Was it a particular moment where you kind of went, no, I want to retrain to do this work?
I think it's the main reason I decided is because there was no help out there for me. I was like, oh, where do I go? I was searching for, is there like a support group? Is there someone I can speak to? I needed other women that had gone through it or in the same position as me to support each other. So that's why I decided, because I thought there's no one out there for me. I'm going to make sure that there's someone out there for other people. That was my main reason. And I live in London, and you'd think there'd be a lot of help. There was none that I could find. So I was like, oh my God, I need to have that support. I'm all about women supporting each other and helping each other through it. And I was that little bit older than my friends, so they hadn't gone through it. And now they're going through it. They've got me. So yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
So how did you decide how to progress your learning and development journey so that you could help other people? What routes and avenues did you go down to start exploring that?
Mine mainly was podcasts. So I was listening to lots of HRT, menopause podcasts, and following on Instagram. Like Louise Newson, I think, was the first person I started to follow. Davina, she was, amazing. And then I found interviews like, is it Avril Blooming?
Yep.
Avril Blooming.
Matters.
Yeah, he was good. And Dr. Mosconi, I found, was very interesting. Yeah. All those type of people were being interviewed by other people. So that was where I was getting all my knowledge from. And I was making notes and just trying to take in as much as I could to help others and to help myself, really. Yeah. Because there was nowhere else to go at the time. Yeah. So, yeah, it was just, thank God for social media.
And how did you decide to train as a menopause coach? How did you explore what was an offer there?
Well, I started my own business in the 2 years. I finished work, and I don't know how I did it with so much anxiety, but I started my own business as a virtual assistant. I had support from another virtual assistant that had been doing it a couple of years. She was great. She was over in Devon, and she's built her, empire now. She's doing amazing. But she was there supporting me as well, and she was giving me some clients. Then I was getting a few more of my own clients through LinkedIn. So I was building up my own business slowly. I don't know how I did it, especially mornings, because mornings, I don't know if you felt the same, so low in the morning. I'd be in tears in the morning and then lift myself up for the bit later in the day, get myself to the gym and get myself out. And then I felt I could cope with work and dealing with people. And then I decided it was quite lonely on my own doing this. So I wanted to go back to work, but I didn't want to go back to work just doing a PA. And I thought, I wonder if I go back to work, I can take this knowledge and experience back to the office. So I went back to my old job in a different team. And I felt as well that I'd created my own business. I knew a bit more about business. I was a bit more of an asset. And also, you know, my children were growing up, they were teenagers. It felt like the right time to go in and give a lot more as an employee, for one. So I was like, I don't want to just have a job and you go 9 to 5. And I wanted to give more. And I wanted to enjoy it. So I think after even a couple of months after I went back, I just approached someone and said, is it possible to create a support group for menopause? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then they let me join the Balancing Business Committee. And there's no other business services staff in that, but they invited me to join. And then, so we had the support that we did like a coffee morning. A few people came. And then I said it would be really good if we could have like a doctor come in, do a questions and answers session. So we got one of the doctors from Dr. Naomi Potter's, is it Menopause Care? Yeah, in Menopause Care. We had one of her doctors speak and she was brilliant, Dr. Andrews. So she came, did an online questions and answers session, which was brilliant. We've had a nutritionist and a dietitian come in. So we've brought quite a lot to it. So I wanted more to help other people, to have the knowledge and to do. I'd never done coaching, so I wanted a bit more than just spout out loads of information. Because as we've learned through the coaching, you can't just tell people what to do because they're not going to do it. They're not going to listen. And I've learned that. I was like, oh, well, why don't you try this? Oh, no, I can't try that. I can't do that. So I was like, oh, my God, people aren't listening. I'm trying to help them. Yeah. So the coaching brought that to people. So, that was a bit of a learning curve. I was like, how come they're listening to me now?
Is that after you started the Women of a Certain Stage?
This, yeah.
So how did you choose the Women of a Certain Stage diploma? How did you come about that?
Because I literally was looking up on an AI, I think Gemini, and I said, how can I become a menopause coach? And could you recommend? And your name came up.
Really?
Yeah, it came up on AI. Women of a Certain Stage, yeah. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Funny. Yeah. So then I started looking into more. Yeah. And it sounded great. So I wanted something as well where it wasn't recorded, where I could actually join in. And I'm a people person, so I like to have that interaction. Yeah.
I think that's what everybody says, isn't it, about the cohort? It's like the fact that it's live, we can speak to each other, we get to meet the experts, and that is the differentiation between that downloaded AI produced program that you don't know if it's current and up to date, and actually meeting the experts working in the field and learning together. So having not done coaching before and having gone from, accumulating all this incredible knowledge from online social media and then choosing to actually get certified yourself as a menopause coach, how's that helped you with all your goals and plans to stop other people going through what you went through?
I think it's just having the knowledge and listening is one thing that I've learned. Let people talk, my first practice client, I felt she wasn't in a great place. She was young, she was only, I think, 36, 37. So she was really unhappy and felt really angry about it. And I said to her, I hope it's helped, even after our first session. And she's like, oh yeah, it's been so lovely to just have someone listen. Because she said no one really listens, and she doesn't talk about it ever. So I think because she was a bit embarrassed because of her age, she's young, she's, people don't expect to hear that someone that age is going through menopause. And that's why she was so angry about it. She's like, she felt her body was letting her down. So it was just nice to hear. I hadn't given her any advice. I just listened to her, and she's like, it was just so nice for you to listen. So, and as the weeks went on, she got less and less angry, and she was much more accepting. And I think by the end, it was an amazing change. Yeah, she was like a different person. Both of my practice clients were like different people. It really changed their lives. And I was like, oh my God, it works. It really does work. Listen.
Oh yeah, I know.
I know you know.
And for anyone listening to this, last week obviously I spoke to Carrie, and Carrie was one of my coaches and trainers, and continues to be someone I look up to and respect and learn from. And one of the things she said to me when I first met her, and when I was learning from her, and in like many years later during the podcast, was everyone needs a coach.
Definitely.
Everyone should have a coach. If we had a world where everyone had a coach, we'd all be listened to. We'd all have space to download those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions that we can't always unpick, or we don't have time to understand and work our way through. And it's interesting because you said that you were offered anti-anxiety medication, CBT, and it wasn't until you got your HRT. And it just goes to show that there is no one single pathway through all of this for anybody. So how is learning to become a menopause coach transformed you as an individual, and how you approach supporting other people?
I think as well, even in everyday life now, I listen. I don't talk over people or butt in. I'm much more, considerate of people's feelings and what they want to get out. I think as well, because I wasn't very confident to start with doing it. So I think it's made me more confident in myself, and think people do listen and they do believe in me. So I was like, I'm not sure if I'm a very good coach. And I'm like, no, you're very good. You're a very good coach. I was like, oh, good. So yeah, it's just having that confidence myself now is built up. So
yeah,
and just having that confidence gives you that confidence to be a better coach, to know that you can support people now. So
you mostly supporting people at work or outside work, or a bit of both? How are you going about that?
See, I haven't really I'm not doing that much at the moment because we haven't really put it out there. I was waiting to get the diploma, so I had that, and I could say, I've actually got the diploma now.
Yeah.
And then it's been the summer holidays.
Yeah.
And then we just haven't had. I have got a meeting in about a week's time with my responsible business manager. So we're going to we're going to speak about how we can make it. I would like to speak to him about doing group coaching, because he does coaching as well. So I thought he's great to speak to about it. So I want to start introducing it soon for group coaching, I think, first. And then just have it out there if they want to do it by themselves. But bring in the group coaching, first of all, is what I want to do.
I love that. I love the fact that you've gone from saying, I wasn't very confident, I'm going to run group coaching sessions. I mean, can you see the transformation?
Yeah, I know.
It's
small
just
groups.
Amazing. Doesn't matter. 2 is a group. I remember I was at an event and I had a very short conversation with Davina McCall after we'd both spoken, and she turned around. I don't know, someone said something about they put on a group at work and no one turned up, or one person turned up, and she just butted into the conversation and said, in the nicest way, 2 people is a group.
Yeah.
And I thought, that is so true. Yeah. What if nobody turned up?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have that one person there to help support them and help change their perspective. So as long as one person shows up, you've got a group. And I thought that was such a lovely comment for her to make, and just so reassuring. So thinking about someone that's maybe sitting on the fence, thinking about doing the diploma, what would you say to them?
I would say definitely go for it. And the one thing I really enjoyed about it was having all the different speakers, because I thought I'd learnt quite a lot, and then you'd bring in a breast cancer nurse, and I was like, I know nothing about breast cancer. So that was brilliant, and it really made me think about the people that can't take HRT due to not having being able to take HRT due to the hormones, and then being given tablets to get rid of the hormones. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't think of anything worse, because I thought I feel like it's a drug for me now. I'm like, I can't live without my HRT, because I'd worry that I'm going to go back to how I was with that anxiety. So that would filled me with panic when she was talking about that. I was like, oh my God. So it made me realise that women are going through a really bad time. Breast cancer, no hormones. It was it was awful to hear that, but it's really interesting to know about that. And even like the prolapse lady and, all of that information is stuff that you just don't see or don't hear about.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. Combined with the confidence lady, I've forgotten her name, and
Jen.
then the business lady.
Yeah.
So it's
Chris.
like all, Chris. Yeah, all having all of that knowledge. So the the learning all about these different things, plus learning the business side of things. And I don't know what other coaching courses are like, but I can't imagine that they have all that variation and that support. So that's why I would highly recommend.
I think I can't remember exactly how many coaching qualifications I've done now. I know I've done 8, but I sometimes think there's another one I'm missing somewhere. But out of all 8 that I did, I knew that when I looked at the best of the best, I wanted to take the very best out of each of them when I created my program and add to it. So everyone that I did was amazing and I learned a lot from them. But one of the things they didn't have was the experts live to interact with. They didn't have ongoing access to the CEO or the person that was running it, and they didn't have that 12 months ongoing support. I could take the best of all of those other coaching schools and continually ask my client. That's why every week you get a chance to give feedback about what can we do better, what do you want us to know, because I read that feedback every week and I'm like, okay, how can I build that in? Is that relevant? So it's continually asking for feedback from absolutely everybody that comes in the program. Sometimes we can accommodate things, sometimes we can't. But I think that doing it live for me is magical because it's those human interactions and personal relationships that I think make such a big difference. I'm biased. Obviously, I'm biased. So.
And even like recently we met up because we went to the pause. That was amazing. It was so lovely to spend time with the women from the video, because that's what you see is like women on video. You're like, oh, you're in real life. It was lovely.
How many of you met up?
I think there was about 8, I think.
Yeah. I loved the photographs. It was so nice to see you all together. It was fantastic.
And we've never met and we just clicked. We just all got on really well. Yeah. It's like, we have to do this again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I just found out last weekend, one of my grads did an event in Boston. And she had 4 other grads that came along and supported her from different cohorts, from same cohort and different cohorts. So I was kind of like, oh my gosh. And I think there's one of my grads is doing an event in Dubai and there's another few people in Dubai. So they're all going to meet up as well. So I'm just this is just like, I can't believe it.
Brilliant. Yeah.
It's like, I'm so grateful to you for doing the work you're doing and helping change the conversation at work and beyond. And how do you see you using this going forward? I mean, what's your kind of goals and dreams as you move forward with all of this?
I'd like to do both inside work and outside work. I would like to be able to do that at some point. I'm going to at the moment I will just do in-house and just even, I don't know, just maybe even train up another person, or so that it's not just me. And maybe they'll join the coaching course at some point. But just to have someone else as support, because it's quite a lot. It's a big company, and just me on my own is quite a lot, especially if they do like a big event, which we'd look, because that's another thing I'm trying to organise actually, is an event for skincare for women of a certain age. Because your skin changes, and everyone I've spoken to said they don't know what to use, they don't know what's good. So we thought, well, maybe we can get someone in and do a talk about skincare and do a demonstration. So we're working on that at the minute. That's another thing. But in the future, another thing I'd also like to do is learn a bit more about ADHD and menopause. So I think that's another way I want to go into it. I don't know where or what I'm going to do yet, but that's definitely something on the back burner.
Have you had a look at what's in the library on ADHD and menopause?
I need to do that. I will find time, and I'm going to print that off and sit and read that.
There's a few different things in there, and I also have a couple of my grads who are ADHD ADHD and menopause coaches. So if you want an introduction, let me know.
Yeah, that would
I
be
can
brilliant.
happily do that too.
Yeah, no, I'd really be
sure.
interested in that, because I was thinking like maybe getting into that, and that's another thing I want to bring up with my responsible business manager. Like, I wonder if I could just slip that in as well. Is there any way I can think of it on ADHD? Because that, I don't feel there's as much support there as there could be. But I feel like I can't do everything.
No, you have the day job.
I
was going to say you've got the day job first and foremost. And it's interesting actually, because my Menopause Champion program is for my corporate clients who want to have someone on point to signpost them to the right help and support for menopause. And it's a 3-hour workshop. So obviously it's not a patch on what you've done as a menopause coach, and what you've done as a menopause coach covers everything in the Champion program. But it's interesting because with the Champion course, the corporates can have someone who's in-house and who's on point, and they learn how to listen and how to signpost, but they don't have the coaching skills or the experts or any of that other stuff either. But I think one of the things I noticed as well that came into my mind was people come on the program and I'm like, any learning needs, anything I need to know? And they're like, no, and maybe occasional 1 or 2 people. And then like a third of the way through the program, half the way through the program, about 20%, 25%, like, I think I've got ADHD or just been diagnosed with ADD. And there's that intersectionality where the hormones are changing, where it's having an impact on how our brains are working. So I'm following all the research just now. Absolutely fascinated.
Oh, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, because I'm going to put myself on a waiting list for a diagnosis, because I'm pretty convinced I've got it. So, and I thought,
have you done any of the online? Have you done any of the online ones?
No, but I've read books and all the traits. So I was like, oh, I think that about 3 or 4 people have said it to me as well. It's like, have you got ADHD? And I'm like, not that I know of, because I didn't really know that much about that either until I've had to do research, because I think both my boys have both got ADHD.
Oh, so interesting.
One's got an assessment in a couple of weeks, so we'll find out. But yeah, from speaking to other people, it's like, I was like, oh, but that's like me, and so I get everything wrong, I get things round the wrong way, and that's a common trait with ADHD, and my brain doesn't work the same, so
that'll be exciting. Maybe we need to get you back for part 2 when you've done the ADHD as well as the menopause, and see where that would be interesting.
But I know as well, I haven't done that much research into ADHD and menopause, but I have read that it does accentuate when you've got when you're going through the perimenopause and you've got ADHD, because the hormones are even more all over the place, aren't they? So
no,
I was just thinking with women, with girls that are going through puberty, that have ADHD, have a worse time once they start periods, because their hormones are up and down, and that affects their ADHD, doesn't it? So
it'll be interesting to see when you've done a bit more research or study into that space as well.
I'm really interested.
When I took you through the menopause plan as part of the coaching diploma, what key takeaways did you have from that?
As in for coaching, or
remember when I took you through the menopause plan?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So did you do that and let yourself be a coach E, or did you study how it was being delivered when you went through that?
I think a bit of both, actually, because I think because I wanted to get into the full flow of being coached.
Yeah.
But because I know I'm going to be doing that, I kind of was like, right, well, that's how Lauren does it. So, kind of making notes as well.
Yeah.
Because you need to know both, because you're going to be on both sides. I wanted to know on both sides. So, yeah, I found it really good being coached, because you're going through all the different topics, and because then you start to realise stuff about yourself and the changes that you're going through. So when you're coaching, they're going to be going through similar. So and I know everyone's experience is different. So
what did you take away from yourself going through it?
From myself, I was thinking, I drink more water now. I go through decluttering now, it's and the how it makes you feel, all of these things. I'm much more aware of even the anchoring. If I get a bit stressed, my thing is the smells. So lavender for me, and I've now got one of those rollers that I put on my wrists.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
So all of them things, I've definitely, I've taken them all away with me, all of the topics. So amazing. I think it's changed. Yeah, it's changed my life as well as hopefully the clients that I get. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. And for coaching, it's listening. It's the listening. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a trick, isn't it? I think not filling the silences and just allowing people that space to sort their thoughts out and speak is so important. Yeah.
Because I hate silences and I feel awkward. And I'm like, And I just picture you going.
For anyone listening to the podcast that's not watching it, it was a zip mouth movement, which is something I do when I'm training people. I kind of do that zip mouth movement because I think it's quite a good visual to remind people.
Yeah.
So what have I not asked you about today that you would like to share with people listening?
I think I don't know. My main takeaways from all of this is that I can be a coach, because I was, at the beginning, I was doubting myself. I was like, I'm not sure I'm confident enough. I'm not a big speaker, especially in big groups. And I probably didn't speak hardly at all during the coaching until I was put into a breakout room. So, even if you're quiet, like I am, not a big, loud person, and I now, stand up in front of people, and I've done mostly online actually lately, is talks. So I've created slides, all this stuff. And I think from having the coaching, just giving that confidence to stand up in front of people because you're the expert, just having that. So, and you don't have to be a loud person to do that. So, because I think people think because they're quiet, I could never do that because I'm just, I'm not a loud person that's confident in front of everybody. But you don't need to be. You can, like I said, I didn't hardly speak throughout the whole coaching in front of the big group, but I did feel confident enough in the breakouts. And so I think that is, if you're a quiet person, you can still do this. You don't have to be that loud. Not loud. I don't know how to describe it.
Extrovert.
Extrovert.
Yeah, kind of outgoing extrovert.
Outgoing extrovert.
And here you are now in a podcast that's going out to over 50 countries.
Don't tell me that.
But this is why we do it, right? I want you to have, this is why I have my grads on, because I want you to have the visibility. I want people to know that you exist, that you're available to work with, that you're on this pathway. I want people to hear it in your voice about what you're passionate about, because if we hadn't met and had that conversation and resonated with each other, we wouldn't have worked together. So if people can hear your voice out in the world and they resonate with you, then they know that they can come to you for coaching.
Yeah.
So
I'm not a loud person.
But I'm a complete introvert.
Yeah.
So, put me on stage for the day and I'm very happy, but I am exhausted by the end of the day. And I need, like everyone else is going out for dinner and going out for drinks, and I'm going back to my room and just listening to some music or journaling or just sitting and quiet, because that's how I regroup and that's how I get my energy back. We're all different. It takes all of us to make the world go round.
Yeah. So it was brilliant. I loved it.
Fantastic. I loved having this conversation with you today. Thank you so much for making time.
Oh no, that's no problem. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you for joining me on Women of a Certain Stage. I hope today's episode inspired you to think differently about menopause and the incredible opportunities this stage of life brings. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with 3 friends who need to hear this message. Don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a review. It helps us reach even more people. You can connect with me on LinkedIn at Lauren Churin, or visit our website at womenofacertainstage.com to learn more about menopause coaching, inspiring events and corporate training. Until next time, let's continue making a difference, one conversation at a time.